I got a little bit mixed up with the time differences. So, well, first of all, I would like to say congratulations for, you have finally made it to the last day of the, well, pre-training courses. And I know that you have been taking a lot of courses. So I hope that this last one would um, make you feel like you have learned something about classroom management. And this is really a funny thing because I was just thinking that during my teacher training process, I have like spent a whole year learning about classroom management. So it's really not so easy to explain and I don't know, let's share about how you feel or let's go through with everything about this huge topic of classroom management. But I do think that there are some things that you could have known beforehand or you could have prepared before you get into the classroom to face the students. So this is what we are all here for. And I know a lot of you have already participated in the classes, my classes like 2, 3 days ago, but I still want to give a brief introduction about myself. So, for those who haven't heard of this part yet, so let's go through with it real quick. I've been a elementary English teacher for 7 years, and I have worked on the Clio Art projects before, and also I have been participating in this digit companions for learning project by MOE for like 2 years. I have been sharing my lesson plans with this project and also designing some example courses and also lecture about how to prepare for getting to be the digit companions. And also, I have been working on the adaptive learning website in Taiwan. In the beginning, I designed the online courses for them, and also I've been sharing about how to use adaptive learning website to infuse it in the teaching plans to how to use the resources to make your teaching more effective. So these are the rough introduction about myself. And also, I am now in Germany, so that's why here is morning now, and it's 2 p.m. there, I think. So I think this is a great opportunity if you try to maybe study for another degree for a PhD, and then maybe there are some projects or some stipends that you could have applied for, and there are some possibilities for an I don't know something new for you to explore. And so what I'm doing now is I've been collaborating with a university in Germany, and we've been doing some researches together. So I think that's a lot of fun. And also, there are a lot of teaching plan competitions nowadays, English ones especially. And there are some rewards or some money that you could have gotten from these competitions. So if you are interested, then you can definitely like look it up on the internet and try to find some
你好，
competitions that
姐姐，
Evan 你的麦克风没有关。
好，
And
好，
Evan 你可以先把你的麦克风关掉吗？谢谢。
哦，不好意思，不好意思，
Thank you. Okay, so this is enough about me, I think. And we're going to talk about what we're going to do for this 2 hours course. Number one is here are 10 things you want to know about students. Well, not 10, but like the things that you might need to know. So something that you should know about the students or know about how to manage your classes. That's the first priority. I think and maybe you are also very curious about this. And also number two is how to manage a class. The do and don'ts, I would say that what are the things that you should do and what are those things that probably you should have prevent. And number three, we are going to think and share about your own opinions that when something like this happen in my classroom, what can I do or how can I deal with them or what are my solutions? And I don't know, maybe there are some really good ideas that you might have that I have never thought of before. So I think that's a good opportunity for you to be creative and share about your own opinions. All right, so here's the classroom rules. Number one, I hope you can raise your hand when you need to speak because it's more likely that I can notice that someone might have a question or someone might want to say something. So that's the first classroom rules for us today. And number two, I hope you can speak up like you don't really have other chances to meet the people here now, maybe. So it's really, really important, or it might be good for you to say something and hear what others have to say. I think that would really help you to clarify about this classroom management thing, and also you can know what other people are thinking. So these are the two classroom rules we have for today. And there are four different goals. Number one, we will know what students are like in a class. Number two, we will learn about some classroom management philosophy. I would be really curious about what your philosophy is. We will get back to that later. And number three is the application part. That is, what would you do if something happens in your classroom? And I'll give you the concrete examples later. Number four is the discussion and share. Maybe there are some things you wanted to share with us, then that would be a good time for you to speak up a little bit. All right, here we are going to get to some still warm up activity, I would say. So I would hope you can choose a number. And this is the things that the students are or might be interested. So these questions are more relevant to the students, and I'm just wondering like how much you know about these stuffs. So I think we can have Ichan, can you please choose a number for us? You can either type or speak up. Number one. Okay, thank you. All right, so the question, oh, those 20 points. Sorry about that. It's a bad start. We'll have another person to help. That's Johan. Can you choose a number?
Number 5.
Number five. Okay, so how many days are there in a year?
365.
Okay, that's a good one.
Thank
365.
you.
Okay, so that's more of a children would be interested question, but of course it's easy for you. And then number three, Wei Ru, can you please choose a number?
Number 6.
Number six, thank you. So what fruits do kids traditionally give to teachers? Or you can just make a wild guess. I think it's a little bit traditionally. Um, and maybe there might not be a like correct answer. Can you guess? Like what would you give your teacher?
Apple.
Apples? Why? Why apples?
Because I think it's easy.
It's easy to get the apple, or you think it's easy to say it, maybe. Okay, oh, an apple. Exactly. I'm not so sure though, but yeah, that's a correct answer according to Bamboozle. And then next one, Fang Yu, can you please give us a number? Number 3, thank you. So how many colors are there in a rainbow? It's an easy one. Can you please tell us? There are 7 colors, thank you. And if you want to push a little bit, you could have asked the students like, oh, which 7 colors? Can you like tell us what colors there are? And then there's another one. Jade, can you please say a number? Maybe we can get 9. Okay, that's good. All right. What do children say in Halloween? What do they say? On Halloween, they would shout out trick or treat. Yeah, I think that's exactly what we say. Happy Halloween, trick or treat. And that's the part. Maybe you can, I don't know, do some chanting with the kids. I'm sure they would all love it if it happens to be the Christmas time. The Halloween time, of course. And then let's have Shen Yun. Can you please say a number? Number 2, thank you. So we have, what is Monica's Boo Rabbit's name? Do you know this one? If you don't, just say, I don't know. Or you do? I don't know. Okay. Well, her blue rabbit's name is Simpson. Or I think it's a Spanish one, maybe. So maybe some of us don't know. All right, and I think we only have so few people here. And let's finish some questions here. So they will say, what colors are the stars on the American flag? I think you know this one. It will be white. And then whose nose grew longer every time he lied? Do you know about this one? Can you please type or say it in the chat box? Whose nose will grow longer? You can type it in Chinese if you don't know the exact English name of it. Yeah, Pinocchio. So, I think it's a sort of Italian story, right? Because when I visited Italy, there are a lot of Pinocchio things or like I don't know shops about this cartoon. So that's a good one. Like students might know about the story. And that's why it's winning 15 points. So well done. We're getting some points as a group, as a class. And so this is a little bit warm up. Maybe you can use for your students as well. And these questions are like suitable for the children. And we are getting to the main point now. Here is the classroom management. So I need you to think that what do you think the teachers need to prepare before the class? That is, do you think what teachers should prepare before she enter a class? Like maybe she needs to prepare the teaching plan or she needs to prepare for whatever. I need you to think about it and then let's please give your answers in our Padlet space again. Can you please click here and answer the question in our Padlet space so I can see them more clearly instead of, well, maybe you left it in the chat box, then it's maybe harder for me to get back to your answers later. So now I hope you can click into the link and let's give your answers here. If you have any questions logging in or I don't know, technical questions, please let me know. Otherwise, please share your answers in our Padlet space. Thank you. So what do you think, like, or what are you doing in order to prepare yourself to the new students, new classes? What is it that you think is important to do? Okay, the time plan. Maybe sort of like a lesson plan. And yeah, time is really important. And there's a 40 minutes group class, so you should definitely be prepared for it. What else? Like, can you think of anything, any other things? I see some good ones. Oh, yes, a cup of coffee. Okay, let's wait for one more minute and let's see. I don't know, maybe we can be all inspired by some very important things, but maybe we don't think of them ourselves. Do you think that we need to be prepared for anything in specific or for the students or maybe for the teacher? What do we need to prepare for? Okay, I think you have finished your answers. Let's see, the first one, lesson preparation. Yeah, so you will submit your lesson plan on the 24th, right? So I do hope that everything will go well with your lesson plan. And then teacher need a cup of coffee. Yes, I will give you a heart. So yeah, sometimes it's just a rough day for the teachers. So we need to be energetic and prepare ourselves like to be in a good condition to face those kids, definitely. And then teaching plan and games for the students. Yes, like there are a lot of different games that we would hope that we can involve the students more. So yes, that would be important as well. And then emotion, in order not to get mad at the kids when they don't follow the teacher's instructions, and they won't like sometimes. So yeah, important to be there in a very, very calm status, I would say. Don't get mad at them, otherwise things will get more horrible. And then the time plan, as we just talked about that, the arrangement for your courses, and that would totally include like before, during, and after, like the different phases of the class. So yeah, thank you for sharing. And I think I'm going to talk a little bit about my answers. So number one is the classroom rules. I do hope that you can establish your own classroom rules in the by the very start of your class, because it is very likely that because they are just kids, they really are not. They would know better if they are sure that what your expectations are. So for instance, in the beginning, I said that I hope you can raise your hand when you need to speak, and I hope that you can speak up. These are my expectations for you during this 2 hour section. But what are your expectations to the kids? And there 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 wouldn't be like a lot of them, like a 10 rules for them to follow, no. But like is there something that you think is very important and that would help you to manage your classes better? And by managing your class better, I mean if the kids can behave in your class and if they can pay attention to you. I think these are the top 2 priorities that you should always focus, and they need to stay safe. So Yeah, so how do you establish the rules in order to, well, prepare your students to achieve the aims that you have set up for them? I think the classroom rules is definitely something that you should begin with, and this is a very, very important thing, because if you don't give the rules to the students in the beginning, it's more likely that if you want them to do this or do that, follow the new rules, say when the class is already like passed for 2 or 3 times, it's harder for them to accept your rules. So um, always establish the rules like on the very first day of your lessons. I think that will really help you with the following ones. So the classroom rules are for assisting the teachers in behavior management and to ensure there is a positive environment for learning. So by positive environment, I think there would be something to do with the students' relationship as well. So there might be some rules that you would say, I do hope that everyone can help each other. Then there would be helping you to create a positive environment. But of course, you can come up with your own, like, what are the rules that you find really, really important? And where all students will feel comfortable and safe. So it's, yeah, the most crucial idea of setting up the rules is for your students to feel this is a really nice learning environment, and I would really like to, I don't know, do something with the teacher and learn from her or him. So these are some basic ideas about classroom walls. And so like what we just mentioned, the first thing is you always state and post your classroom rules on the very first day. And there are, I don't know, a lot of different online resources that you could have found. Like I used this one, 36 ways to introduce and explain classroom rules. So if you, I don't know, you have the time later, you could have looked it up and see what it is like. Okay, I think I want to stop a little bit here, and can you please say design a PowerPoint and to think of your own classroom ideas. What do you think that's important to um what do you think it's important for your students to follow, or what are the things that you, what are the rules you think can help your students to feel comfortable, feel safe, and be motivated in learning? So here we are going to stop for a while, and I hope you can create your own classroom rules, maybe by a PowerPoint, and then you upload it here to the Padlet again. So let's wait for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, and please let's finish this little task now. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna type it here. Create your own classroom rules and upload it here. If you have any questions, please feel free to just speak up or type in the chat box. You can do some researches if you want. We will get to everyone's like feedback or responses by 8:35 maybe. We'll see. Okay, I think it's time. So if you haven't finished, that's okay. We can check some of other people's like rules, and maybe they could have inspired you or make you think, this is something I wanted to do as well. So the first one, we have a classroom rules by Angel. Let's see, she did it with Canva. Okay, might look very nice. Okay, the number one is raise your hand when you to speak or volunteer. Yeah. I think it's kind of important because if everyone sort of speak like at the same time, it would be difficult for the teacher or for the students to understand what's going on here. So always have the kids to raise their hand when they wanted to speak or volunteer. And also, I would say that you might be, I don't know, give them some visual aids, like you can print screen the icon from Microsoft Teams and then add it here. I think that would really help students to know which button to click in order to raise their hand. And also, we need to respect everyone in the class. That's important too. Like what we just mentioned, we hope that the students can feel safe. They can feel comfortable in your class. So I think that's probably something you wanted to do. Number three is listen to the teacher. Yes. So pay attention, and you might be, checked frequently whether the kids are paying attention to you. So yeah, I think these are important rules. Thank you for sharing with us. Nice. Well done. And then we have classroom rules here. Okay, so maybe there's not enough time. So you only type it here. Number one is try your best. Yeah, like always do your best. That's an important one. Number two, pay attention in class. And number three, don't be shy to speak up. Yes. Oh, I think this reminds me of something that um you if possible, please use the positive words like more often. So instead of saying don't be shy, probably you could have put it like be brave and speak up. So this is what this some logic about talking to the kids is that you use the positive words. So you say be brave or speak up and so on and so forth. So this is something for you to think about. And be on time. Yeah, exactly. If everyone is late, it's hard to begin because then people come in and you will have to repeat everything again. So that will be difficult. And next one, please no Chinese. I would always say that also in my class. But the trick is it's actually allowed for them to speak in Chinese during the discussion with their peers, or when they really don't know how to say that in English, then I think some portion of the Chinese, the Chinese part is allowed. And or you could have said that like you need to say, may I speak in Chinese, before you just say a lot of Chinese and with no English. So yeah, you can totally say don't no Chinese, but I think there might be some flexibility here for the kids to be able to like say their needs when they are when they are needed, like because some are just very shy or their English is not that good, then maybe you can like let them to speak in Chinese sometimes. And then don't turn off your microphone without teacher calling you. I think that's kind of the same thing. So instead of saying don't turn off, maybe you can say turn on your microphone. So use the positive words, and they would be shorter. And when they are shorter, the kids would be able to follow you like better. And number 3, when the students need to go to the bathroom, please tell your teachers. Yeah. So you might tell them that, okay, if you need to go to the bathroom, please say, may I go to the bathroom? Or there are some sentences that you could have used in your class. You can like just tell your students what to say or how to express their needs. And then next one is be on time. Mute your mic while teacher is talking. Thank you. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You can say, turn off your microphone, or you can say mute your microphone. So use the positive and don't use the words like don't or won't that often. And then follow the teacher's instruction. Yeah, that's important as well. But I do think that maybe you can be a little bit more concrete about how they can follow your instructions. Like maybe they need to, I don't know, listen carefully, or they need to do what? These are the things that you could have be more specific when explaining to your students. And number 4 is respect your teacher and classmates. I really like this one. And raise your hand and open your microphone if you need to say something. Yeah, I think these are all very good. Thank you for sharing. Now let's get back to our PowerPoint here real quick. Okay, and number 2 is please you can use the power of the internet. For instance, the Class Dojo or the adaptive learning website for like making your classes more I don't know, interesting, or maybe you can motivate your kids more. This is the Class Dojo. I don't know if you have used it before, so I'm just gonna show you in case some of you haven't. So this is the summer vacation English camp we were doing online, and here you see you can upload your students' names in Chinese or in English, and you can group them, of course. And then here is some toolkit. Like you can set a timer here. It's very easy. Or okay, let's wait for a bit. So for instance, we set a 15 seconds timer. And there were beeps like when the time's up. So it helps you to attract your students' attention back. I don't know if you can hear my sound here, but it will like make some sounds to remind the kids that, oh, it's time. And also there are some functions here like randomly choose a kid, or there is a group marker, nose meter, directions, think, pair, share, today, music. You can try these functions yourself, and you can take attendance here. Like if your students show up, then you can give them extra credits for those who are on time, or those who are missing, and so on and so forth. So take off their points, and there are actually some records that will be there for students to follow that. I lose a point here because of some certain reasons. And here you can select multiple, like you can choose a different students here. You can give them like extra credits for doing something nice. And this is what we just said, the randomly choose a kid, and maybe you can ask him or her to answer your questions and give them some credits for their good behaviors. Okay, so I think this is a short like brief we have gone through. You can also invite the families to log in, checking their kids how they are doing in class. Of course, that's a possibility for you to do. Okay, I think we still have some time before the class break, so I can go back to my PowerPoint a little bit. And number 3 is you need to explain the consequences for not following rules. So, well, I would tell my students like, why do they need to follow rules? For instance, if you don't raise your hand before speaking, then everyone will speak at the same time. So actually, no one could understand what each other are talking about. Or if you are not on time, then maybe it's likely that you miss out something the teacher or your classmate said. Then you would need to stay for some time after the class is over, and we need to like go through with about why you were late or what you have missed during the class. So I think these are the important rules for you to like explaining to them in like why they need to do this or that. And sometimes the kids, the really mature ones, will be able to follow you and understand you. And even for those who are not so mature or not so cooperating, after your explanation, it's more likely that they can understand you better, or they can feel like, oh, okay, so I need to follow this because of what. And also create positive rules, like what we just talked about. Avoid the don'ts, no, or never. You can just change your rules in here are the positive ones, like instead of saying don't interrupt, you might say wait to be recognized before speaking. Or say no running. You can say walk carefully in the classroom. But I guess you don't need this one. And never hit anyone. You can say respect personal space. So use the positive wordings or positive words for you to explain your concepts or your rules to the students. I think that would really help them to follow you up more easily and also create a more positive atmosphere in your classroom. All right, I think it's about time. So let's take a short break and please be back at 9 o'clock, okay? If you have any questions or feedback, comments, you can always speak up or type in the chat box, and we will get back to you later when we after our break. That is. hello, I think it's time for us to get back. So if you are already say back to here from our break, please give us a maybe smiling face so I know you are already back. Okay, thank you. I see some people are back already. Okay, it's a Friday afternoon, so maybe like you have some plans going on afterwards. So I hope that today I can get everything like over on time. Like I really do hope that I could do that. So I think most of you are here already. Then we are going to get back to, or there's someone wanting to say something maybe? Let's wait for a while. No? Okay. We are going to get to the create positive walls. Okay. And now, this is a KISS principle. I like it very much. It's called keep it simple, stupid. So always keep your rules simple so that you don't say confuse the students, or you always use like short sentences to express yourself, maybe in the beginning, of course, but do it in a completed sentence. So like what we just mentioned, that you don't need 10 rules to to arrange your class, but maybe something that's really to the core, that's really crucial for you. And like keep everything simple because they are just students, and more likely than not they cannot really take all this input. So this is something that for your class design as well, for your lesson plans. So the kids cannot really understand or learn too many things at a time. So please just keep it short and simple, and you make sure that everyone is following you. And for those like a high achiever, or for those who are really good at English, good at studying, give them some more tasks afterwards. But you don't expect everyone to be able to achieve those like 10 tasks at a time. No, just keep it simple. And then also create your own classroom rules. And this is what we did. Sorry. And then I need you to get to know your students, like know about their English competency, learn about their personality, learn about their prior knowledge. And how do you think that you can get this information about your students? Maybe before the class, you could have asked about the teacher you are collaborating with. You can ask about the students, the students that who has participated in this project before. Maybe they will know a little bit about your students, or you could have do some research about what kids are like here nowadays, and what they are found of, and so on and so forth. This will help you to get more information about your kids, and also during the class. So this is an activity that we have done in our first lesson. Yeah, I would say. So this is a sorting class. Like you need to, my aim is to teach students how to sort different things. So in the beginning, I used the Padlet to ask the students to find the pictures of their favorite animals. And this kid is very cute. Like Dolphinic, he uploaded his puppy stuffed animals. So I didn't even teach him how to do that, but they would sort of get creative and do their own sharing. And by the end of the class, we would like sort the animals, maybe maybe they live in the house, maybe they live in the farm, maybe some animals have some features but others don't. And this is good. Like it's for the one thing very relevant to your course, to your lesson plan, and for the other, it helps you to get to know your students. So I think there are some activities or some like things you could have think about. How can you get to know your students? And I promise you, this will be very rewarding. Like after you get to know them, you would have a better idea, a better view about how you can interact with them. So I think, yeah, doing this can be really helpful. And also make a lesson plan meaningful and relevant to students' life. I think I've talked about this before, like in the previous lesson, that your lesson plan should be relevant, should be like in close relationship with students' daily life. The things they might see on the street or the words, the sentences they might be able to use with their classmates. These are the things that the kids needed to learn. They don't need to learn about, I don't know, maybe there is a new star that's been found, or but if that's what your passion are and you can make it very interesting, of course, do it. But what I'm talking about here is that most of the time, we would hope to teach the students something that's relevant to them, something that might be be helpful, be they would feel like I can really use it in my life, in my like daily life with my family, with my friends, and so that would like more possibly than not to motivate them to participate in your class. And then this is what we talked about, like we teach the lesson, the aim is for sorting, and I choose the picture book, like the animals will not sleep. And this is like a very most students would have this experience that they have a lot of or some stuffed animals they have in their room at their home, and things might get a little bit messy. So this storybook is about how this kid can sort his stuffed animals and put them into places. And there's a lot of things that you could have teach with the storybook. So I think whatever you do, you try to make things that's relevant to your students, and they will help them to feel more like feel more willingly to participate in your lessons, and also interact with your students, like what we just used the bamboozle to get to know a little bit about your prior knowledge on students. And there are a lot of different games on Bamboozle that you can try to use to interact with your kids. And of course, there are 1,000 other websites out there that you can find, and I'm sure they are all very interesting. So you can do some research and find one that works the best for you. And also, okay, this is the part I'm interested in. Creating a classroom management philosophy. Like, think about your goals for the year. So, what kind of relationship you want to have with your students? What kind of classroom climate and school culture that you are striving for? For example, do you want to remain like more controlled so the kids would behave and they would sit up straight and look at in the eye with you, or do you want to give students more freedom, like they could maybe speak up without raising their hands, or they can give their feedback whenever they want it, and you are okay with it? What is your teaching philosophy? And there's no correct answer to this. I would say, like in the beginning, I would remain I would try to maintain more control to my students. I make sure everyone's afraid of me. Or no, I'm just kidding. I would try to make things more organized because I was very experienced, say on the first year of my teaching, and things can go really bad when I was not so experienced. I would lose control with the students sometimes, and I maybe my lesson plan is not so so good, that so in line with their lives, they don't feel motivated to participating. So in the first 2 3 years, I try to maintain more control to my students, and then gradually there is some freedom that could have been given. Or this is a good this is an idea that you could have think about, that you give students more control in the beginning of the class or a semester, and then you give them more freedom gradually, like when 2 3 weeks is over and you found that this class is actually okay, you sort of understand them already, and you really know how to set up the pace of your lessons, then this is the time you give students more freedom, I would say. So it really depends on your teaching philosophy. And like, here are some examples for you. For instance, I want all students to feel safe and cared for. I want them to feel this is our classroom, not my classroom. Or I believe all children deserve to feel comfortable in their learning space. I will provide as much flexibility as possible in terms of seating. I can't do the seating arrangement. I can't let them choose. I mean, personally. And because I don't know, it would just be chaotic for me. But I don't know, maybe for you, you think it's fine. And to accommodate their individual needs, yeah, let's definitely a must. Or whenever possible, students will be given voice and share and choice in terms of activities and assessment options. So if students feel they have a say in their learning, they will be more cooperative and willing to engage, and so on and so forth. So you decide that your teaching philosophy is something, and you want your class to, I don't know, either way, or you can make your own sentences. Because of what? Like, I think they will be your own belief, and I'm very, very curious about what you believe in. And also, if students misbehave, because they all are gonna be most of the time, of course. And what will you do, say, if they really like misbehave, and can you come up with a, say, nice way that you can have, I don't know, taken control, or say make everyone feel comfortable in the classroom? What would you do? So I think we have another section here for you to answer. Oopsie. What would you have done if oops, if things, I don't know, doesn't go really well? So please go back to our pet that in a space, and I hope to you to think about some of your teaching philosophy. What is it? You can either copy my sentence here and just fill in the blank, or I don't know, you can be creative and write your own words. They are all fine. So this will be our Padlet space in case you don't have the link. Let's wait for 5 minutes again, maybe. So we'll get back to the answers at 9:18. Okay, here we go. Please answer the question in Padlet. If you have any questions, please speak up or type in the chat box. I think we can wait for 2 more minutes because someone is still trying to write down their answers. Let's say 9:20, okay? I think it's time. So let's get to see some of your feedbacks here. So the first one says that my teaching philosophy is that every student or kids deserve equal attention. Yeah, that's quite very important. Like every kid, say the ones who doesn't speak up that often or who are very shy, they need the teacher's attention to say if you pay attention to them, then it's more likely that they will pay attention to the class and to you. So yeah, I think that's a really good one. I want my classroom to maintain a harmonious environment because I'm sorry, because everyone will be able to communicate his or her needs. Oh, that's really sweet. If students misbehave, I will call their names out and ask what they want from you. Okay, that's a good strategy. I would love to be in your class. And also here she and you say my teaching philosophy fee why is to that the students learn happily. I want my class to have more freedom because my past experience of learning, when I feel happy in the class, I'll be more willing to speak up and try my best. Yeah, that's true for everyone. If students misbehave, I will minus their points. Okay. Yeah, that would totally work, especially for the younger kids. And also, okay, the teaching philosophy here is learn English while having fun. Yeah, that's a good one. And have more freedom. And they would be willing to spend time after the class to learn English. So I admire them very much. You can tell them about this. Yes, I would say so too. And communicate with the kids patiently. Like they yeah, sometimes it's really hard to to be patient with the kids because you will have a bad day as well. Like sometimes things just go wrong in your own life and you are not feeling very well, very comfortable, and so on and so forth. So it's possible that you might lose your temper now and then, but please just always remember to remain calm and do say try your best with the kids. That's what I would say. All right, I think because of the time constraint, I would have to move back to our PowerPoint again. And oh, we are here now. So these are some of the very nice things and some parts that are not so beautiful I would like to show you. So let's watch the film here. And whoopsie. Give me a sec. I think I have this. Oh no, I don't. Okay, so after watching the film, I'll need you to tell me that what are they doing? That's the first question. What are they doing there? And would you like to try something similar? Okay, so please just type in the chat box. That is question number one. What are they doing? And number two, do you want to try something similar? If so, then how are you going to do that? Ooh. Okay, I will type the questions later. All right, let's watch the video real quick. Okay, I think we have enough of it already. So now can you please tell me how can you try? How can you do something similar with your students? Okay, let's type in the chat box because apparently what they are doing now is the teacher is trying to greet the students to say hi, and she does it in a very creative and nice way. Like the kids could have chosen which hello they wanted to receive. And so I'm wondering how you can say hello to your kids because it's an online thing and it's not possible for you to say give them high five or touch them. But how are you going to do that? To greet your kids, to say hello. Can you please type in the chat box so we can get a little bit brainstorming and see what your creativities are? There's no correct answer, really. Just say whatever you wanted to say. Or how do you say show a nice gesture, like make your students feel like home, like not so scared because everyone's speaking English, but what are the nice little things that you can do to make them feel better, to make them feel this is a safe environment. I would like to be here. Curious about what you think about this? Oh, okay. We will talk about everyone's answers in a short minute because I think someone is still trying to say something. I think that's a really good one. I'll give you a thumbs up for that first because you answer so quickly and everything is so nice. Okay, so where Ruth says that ask them to draw today's mood emoji. Now make corresponding actions. Say, oh, that's really cute. And there are a lot of different online websites that I think you can use that for. And Ethan says that ask them some questions about themselves. Yeah. So like something small but personal, maybe their birthday or maybe what do they like to eat and so on and so forth to get to know a little bit about them. And maybe use emoji to replace it. Okay. That's very, very nice of you. And now let's get back to our PowerPoint. So this is another video that I would like to show you. I think that's really, really nice. Here we go. Well, can you hear the film? Is it okay that you hear what they are talking about? Because it would be easier to follow if you can. No, oh, sorry about that. Let me try to share again, or we can give me a sec real quick. Okay, I think this would do. Please try again with me.
And we're drawing graphs, and he was just like, "Oh well, with this marker," and we were
Can you
like,
hear
"Oh,
it
that one's
now?
green. You already used green for the last one."
Mr. Akala shared for the first time he's colorblind, cannot see red and green.
My eyes and brain, they can't tell
Thank
the
you.
difference sometimes. Yeah, depending on the hue.
The students decided to utilize the principles their teacher has taught them to help him.
Are you serious? Wow. This is like...
They raised $400 to buy him special glasses that use science to help see colors.
Oh.
He saw the students' bright colored t-shirts and the colors his own children drew in the artwork on his desk.
Oh my gosh. Wow, I really am colorblind.
Sometimes if you put red next to green, they look like they're the same color. So when I put these glasses on, it breaks up the wavelength so I could separate those two colors. And I see them how you see them.
Wow, that is awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
And that's the miracle. It happens instantly. And it's all physics, it's science, which is beautiful because I'm teaching them the physics and they're giving it back and making my life better. It just made such
No
a big
scream.
impact on my
What?
life. And
Oh, I'm so
man, I
sorry.
love them.
Wait. This is bad. I'm so sorry about my technical problems. Here. Oh no. Okay, maybe this will do.
Can't tell the difference sometimes. Yeah, depending on the hue.
The students decided to utilize the principles
Is it okay now? Sorry about that. I didn't realize. Yes, thank you.
their teacher has taught them to help him.
Are you serious? Wow. This is like...
They raised $400 to buy him special glasses that use science to help see colors.
Oh.
He saw the students' bright colored t-shirts and the colors his own children drew in the artwork on his desk.
Oh my gosh. Wow, I really am colorblind.
Sometimes if you put red next to green, they look like they're the same color. So when I put these glasses on, it breaks up the wavelength so I could separate those two colors. And I see them how you see them.
Wow, that is awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
And that's the miracle. It happens instantly. And it's all physics, it's science, which is beautiful because I'm teaching them the physics and they're giving it back and making my life better. It just made such a big impact on my life. And man, I love them.
My physics teacher did.
Okay, so I think that's really, really cute that the students they try to give back to the teacher and They really care about the teacher, and I'm sure that they have wonderful relationships with each other. That's why the students are willing to do this nice gesture to him. And that I think this is something that you can think about is if you can really like care about your student, and they are also gonna be caring about you as well. So I think that would be very nice part for teaching really. And also like you could have say maybe happy birthday. You can have a little bit celebration about your student's birthday or so. And there will be something that not so pretty as well, like the disruptive lessons. So I need you to tell me that if you were the teacher, what would you have done if you were the student's teacher? Okay, we're going to watch the video for a short time. And this is what he does.
Caleb, cool it. Okay, everyone, I need you to get your papers out from yesterday. Those need to be on your desk. Caleb, if you do not have yours out, that will be a 0 for this assignment. Caleb, I am not going to play these games with you today. Pick up the paper or go to the office. Pick it up. Caleb, I don't know what your problem is, but you will not be disruptive in my class. Do you understand what I'm saying?
What y'all looking at?
That's it. To the office. Out.
Okay, say if you were the teacher, then what can you do with the disruptive actions? Please type in the chat box, and I'm wondering that sometimes things would go really bad. Maybe not less bad, but I don't know, a lot of kids will be upset during your class. Maybe what happened previously, they have a quarrel with their classmates. And yeah, sometimes this could happen as well. The student, they don't want to participate in your class and they try to, well, they may make a scene. And what can you do with them? Okay, I'm curious about what you might answer. So let's wait for everybody. This is the not so pretty part about teaching. And I think I need to remind you that some kids, they have special needs. That means that maybe they have some physical or mental issues they are dealing with, and that would really like make a difference. Say those certain kids would be different than the other ones. So you would like have to be prepared that maybe chances are that those kind of kids would be also in your class as well. So how are you going to deal with the people's special needs? Like maybe some are just really slow, or some people, they just cannot pay attention. They would need to like stand up and walk in a while. I'm not so sure what kind of students you are going to meet, but it's always nice to think ahead and be prepared, I would say. Okay, let's see. Biyu says, ask him what happened to him and if he wants to take a day off or what else that can make him feel better. But I think the trick thing is that it's hard to, it's not possible for you to just let him take a break. Or you will have to say call the parents, call the school, and make sure that it is okay for you to do that. But of course, I understand if things go really bad, it's definitely a thing that an action you should take. Yeah. And then Yichen says that talk to him outside the classroom and ask him what happened. Yeah, I would do that if things go really, really bad, because then I will be leaving the rest of the kids in the classroom. So just make sure that you give some tasks or something for the other students to finish before you say talk to the individual kid. Otherwise, the kids that had no problem originally, they will start to like, there's no teacher here. I'm gonna do something funny. So always keep kids busy. I think that's a thing that I want you to think about. And then Zhichen says that I know you're angry and upset, and could you tell me what happened? So basically just talk to him about what happens. Yeah, I think that's a good answer as well. Be like understanding about what he needs. Oh, give him choice. Yeah, I would say that's a good one. It's like what the teacher in the video says. You either pick the paper up or you go to the office. Like you can have the administrative staffs to deal with some certain issues, because more likely than not you have other students to attend to, and it is not fair to leave them just there and you only focus on that kids with special needs. So I would say, yeah, these are the very, very useful and very nice suggestions that you would have. And when things like this do happen, I hope that you can be prepared and think of some things that you might be able to do in correspondence of them. And then, okay, I think I like this one as well. This is a online class that students, uh, it's more of a joke, but I really like it. So I want you to, oopsie, I want you to take a look at this one. Oh, maybe I didn't get the right link. Give me a second. I think this will be the right one. Okay, here we go.
都到了吗？小鸡要，小狗有，小熊要，小猪，哎，小猪还没来吗？哎，那个谁可以赶快打给小猪？哎，小鸡，你赶快打给小猪。好，他一定睡过头了，叫他赶快起来。哎，小猪起来，老师要上课了。啊，老师我来了。哦，来了就好。好，那我们开始上课吧。那大家先打开画面。哎，小猪，你也要开画面啊！可以不要开吗？我现在没有化妆，很丑哎。如果你没开画面，我就算你没来哦。啊，好啦。小猪，你的脸怎么变成这样子？你昨天是都没有睡觉哦？有啊。哎，小鸡、小熊，你们两个也是，黑眼圈这么重，晚上都在干嘛？在念书啊。最好是啊，你们学小狗好不好？你看他的精神多好。好了，我们开始上课啦。今天要上的是生物课哦。我们先来介绍物种。大家知道我们物种可以分为界、门、纲、目。床边老师的照片有发给我吗？我等下再传啦，我在上课啦。小鸡子，你的麦克风没关哦。多抱歉。好，那大家知道狗和狼都是属于哪一个科吗？哎，这一题应该小狗会哦。我们请小狗回答看看。哎，小狗，你是属于哪一个科？哎，小狗，哎，你怎么没有反应？小狗，抱歉，我刚刚去上厕所了。那我刚刚在教什么？你有没有听到？刚刚教那个狗跟狼是那个犬科啦。好啦，算你过啦，下次要注意听啊。好。那我们再接下去讲。所以说生物就是按照这样子去做分类的哦。那生物学家呢？起床啊，各位！大家都在打瞌睡，到底有没有在听呐？真的有在听吗？好，那我要点名的哦。答不出来你们就完蛋了。看我要点谁啊？那就点那位东张西望的小熊。来，你回答。我们生物的分类分成哪8个主要的分类呢？哪8个？答不出来了吗？怎么停电了？你们怎么都刚好一起停啊？因为我们都住在 CD 区。还好我不住在那一区。好啦，看你们那么累，就放过你们一马，先休息一下啦，待会再继续上。那我去拿个充电器。我去倒个水。我再去上厕所。那我要去拿个吃的。 啊，电终于恢复了。
哈哈，太好了！
哎，小鸡最近怎么跟小猪互换位置了？
没有啊，我刚刚就坐这里啊。
啊，不对啊，你明明上面的名字就显示小猪啊。
那个写错了啦。
小狗你怎么出现在小鸡只的画面里？
没有啊，
那个明明就是你吧？你们是不是现在都在一起呀？啊，我知道了，你们一定昨天一起打电动是不是？
没有啊，
没有啊，还在装。
电来了！你看我刚刚弄了爆米花哦！
That was a really cute film. Like when I was doing the online teaching for the first few months, this happens like all the time. Like the students, they just never wanted to turn on their webcam, and it would be difficult if they don't. The teacher would be hard to. It would be hard for the teachers to see what they are actually doing if they are paying attention, and yeah, they are like really skilled, and they can use the pictures to fake that they are there. So that's really funny. And also, yeah, sometimes they were just gonna be disappeared. They would log out, and I wouldn't know where they are, or they are not motivated. Like people were just sleeping, and it's really difficult for the teacher to say catch their focuses and try to have them back. So this is the time that you might need a lot of interaction, a lot of feedback, a lot of tasks for the students to work on, so you can check if everyone is really on task. Okay, so I think that we are already down to the very last part of our class. That is, we have 4 questions for you, like what we just saw in the film. Then the students, they are absent, you don't know where they are. Then what would you do? Number 2, they don't want to turn on the camera. They would like rather not, they would prefer for the teachers not to see them. What would you do? Number 3, there's no responses from the students. You ask a question and no one wants to answer. What would you do? Number 4, the students, they don't pay attention. Like they just play the video games and they are not so focused. What would you have done? I think this would be the last one. Please answer on our Padlet. What would you do if you were the teacher? Okay, I think I'm going to post the question and picture here real quick so that everyone can see it. All right, please now get back to our Padlet space, and this would be, I hope that we can finish this. We have 4 questions here for you, and please answer them together in our Padlet platform. And you are, I think, most likely to encounter these problems. So what can you do? Again, there's no right or wrong answers. You just think. And this is what we are here for. Like we are brainstorming, we are doing some preparation, and I hope you can have your own ideas. There's no right or wrong answers, but be prepared is a good thing so that you can be more likely to say adapting to the whole classroom environment when you are actually there. Okay, let's wait for maybe 3 minutes for everyone to get into the plaza, and I'm really curious about what your responses are gonna be. Can you please mark the number of the answer so that we can see better, like clearly what your response is for each which item? Okay, for 1, 3, and 4, they will be giving points or taking them out. Okay. But what about number 2? Or what about other people? What do you think? And we can wait for another 1 minute if you haven't finished writing. I don't know what to do. Yeah, it's always okay to say you don't know. We'll take a look at others' answers in a while. Maybe let's wait for another 30 seconds. So what could you have done if you were the teacher, those animals teacher, and things like that happen? All right, I think it's time we can start to check your answers. Number 1, I don't know what to do. Okay. Number 2 and 4, give them points if you turn on the camera. Yeah, instead of taking the points, maybe you can encourage them, give them extra points, and also call someone's name first or ask them to type the answer to the question. Yeah, that's a good one to ask them to respond to you, right? And then also 1, 3, 4, give them points for answering and interactions. Okay. So yeah, it's always to have your scoreboard, and the students are more likely to be able to respond, or because they all like extra credits. Like who doesn't? I do. I want to be I want to have a lot of points as well. So it's really nice that you can set up a scoring system for students to say get his points, and if he get like 10 points, what he could have do, maybe he could have had a treat, or he could have choose his seats first next time, and so on and so forth. You can choose the rewardings for your kids. And then also ask other students. Oh, okay, ask their friends. Yeah, I think that's a really good answer. If the people are missing, you can always ask the people in the classroom. And if there's like no way you are sure where they are, then it's really important you call a school to make sure that everyone is safe, or so like you figure out how the name call the roll call is gonna be done, then you need to stick to it. Otherwise, it can be dangerous that if we don't know where the kids are and they just like vanished in the campus, it would be dangerous, I would say. And also add this role in my classroom. Okay, so use Class Dojo to manage my class. Yeah, so you can say take attendance on the in the beginning of every lesson, and also respond by myself and talk to them. We have some funny activities after. Yeah, it's a good one as well. I really like it. And last one, use Class Dojo to deduct points. So the scoring board, you are all familiar with the system. That's good. And someone says, ask for other students' help, ask them to call students who is absent. Yeah. Well, maybe the students might not be able to call, or maybe it's possible because they don't have their phones with them. I think. But yeah, they have some teachers they could have asked for help with. So I think that would be a good answer as well. And give them points if they didn't open the camera. Yeah. Always just encourage them to turn on the camera. Ask other students if they want to help their classmates to answer. That's really good. Because sometimes that when someone is maybe just the internet is just not that good, or he's having some issues right now and he cannot or would not answer your questions, you can like smoothly transfer the question to others. But maybe it's better to come back to the first kid and check up with what happens like afterwards, so that the student wouldn't think, if I don't answer, then I can be spared. Then I don't know, maybe it's not a habit that we want them to force. And then number 4, use games and points to attract them. Yeah, I think they are all very, very nice strategies and ideas, also very helpful that you could have used to help your class to go more smoothly. Thank you for sharing. And I think we only have 4 minutes left, so I'm going to get to the last slide that I'm gonna share with you today. So I do think that teaching is a science. That means that you have a lot of preparation to do. You have your lesson plan, you need to get to know your kids, you need to prepare yourself. So it's more of a science, like there are different steps that you should include in your lesson. And if you do them right, and then it's more likely that, well, things can go more smoothly afterwards. And it is also an art, like how you interact with your students. Are they, say, do they like you, or how you can attract their attention to make them participate in your lessons? That's really an art, I would say. And also it's a craft, like you need to build things up, you need to model for the kids, you need to, well, help the students to prepare them to be ready to learn something from the class, to learn something from their peers, to learn something from you. And so teaching is actually a lot of things. And I do hope that every one of you can have a really, really good start with your teaching experience, because that might really encourage you to say go further and to maybe spend more time on this. I think it's very, very rewarding thing to see those kids, they are making progress and they are responding to you, and you have this, well, you have this happy, encouraging teaching environment together. I think that's really, really nice thing to have. So that's pretty much it for today. And I want to say thank you for coming in. This will be your last day of your training courses, I think. And if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to write me an email, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. So I think this is all for today. Thank you for coming. And Kevin, do you have anything that you would like to say to us before everybody leaves?
Okay. Actually, I don't have so much thing to say, but yeah, we have done a lot of online training courses this week,
Exactly.
and yeah, and I've noticed that there are like some students that participate all the lessons, and they're just um, participate in the activities as well. They're just sleeping or nodding or anything, but they are actually they are actually doing the exercise on class. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, let's give it a
And
big hand. Thank
yeah,
you for being such a wonderful teachers. Yes.
yes. So
Aw.
this is the last class, and I hope you guys can be the very, very how do I say that? Can
Uh,
learn how to be a good 大学班. I don't know how to speak
yeah,
it in
the
English.
digital
Yeah.
companion, as they say.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So just 恭喜大家, congratulations. And this is the end of all the classes. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I finished on time. I think I'm doing good today. So, if
Okay.
there's no further questions, then it's time for let and go, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, then hope I can maybe see you someday and hope you have a good start with your teaching experience. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
If you need a PowerPoint, it's in the Padlet already. You can just download it. Or you have any questions or so, or no? Thank you. Thank you for staying. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. All right, bye-bye.